Hey, everybody. Tonight's Live Around 5 with me, Amy, is how to have an authentic business conversation. Whether this is for a business that you have yourself from home, like the multiple income streams that we've been taught to create, or it's just at your everyday work, it's really important to understand that there is some specific etiquette that you can follow that'll put you ahead of about 98% of the business people out there today. I found that as things have become more casual, so have kind of the rules of the road, if you will. And I'm telling you that these tips will really set you apart in your professionalism and in the way people want to do business with you. Because the thing is, we all do business with each other every day. My favorite place to shop right now is Instagram. I'll be honest. I love hearing what people I enjoy following and who I defer to their expertise are doing. I love Kat Can Cook and she's got great recipes. If she says buy something with a link, I'm going to follow her link because I want to support her. But one of the things I look for is this level of professionalism when I'm doing that. So there's some simple things. I don't think there's anything difficult. And I bet you think you're already doing them. But if you really think through a business conversation in your mind, maybe these will help lift you through that conversation. The first is just to listen actively. And for the extroverts out there or the chatty Cathys like me, this is something that you'll need to practice. If you find yourself talking more than you're listening and you're the one offering something, that's a mistake. You want to be listening more than you're talking because the whole goal in any of our businesses is to provide a service or a product that's going to meet the need of our customer. The only way to truly do that is to intently listen. And I'm talking about a real listening, not thinking about what you're going to say as they're talking, but just hearing what their pain points are, what their goals are. One of the things with my Young Living business that people love are just the diffusers. Maybe they don't have health goals related to it at all. Just because that's how I came to Young Living doesn't mean that's going to be how other people are interested in it. And some of our most gorgeous diffusers people love having in their homes because it makes it look like a spa. If I'm listening for a health concern and somebody says, I just want my house to smell nice and I like the way that looks, that's where I need to meet them, right? So listen intently. The second thing is to be honest and transparent. The most important thing in business, in my opinion, to say, I can't help you with that, or that seems like you might want to talk to someone else about that, or here's what I can offer you for that, and here's what it would cost, right? You want to be sure that you're outlining each step of the way so that your customers, my joy is for the people that I work with to be full of delight and joy, to be surprised by the excellence, by the extra mile, by the customer service, by the professionalism, by the camaraderie, right? I want it to be like amazing because I want to work in an amazing environment. I want to meet people in an amazing way and have them be back that way to me, right? So be authentic and be transparent and be honest. Also find common ground, right? Find a place that you can relate to the person that you're talking to. Let's say that in particular you have a conflict at maybe a standalone business and you're dealing with someone. Try to find common ground. In most occasions, when I've had a conflict with someone, what's happened is there's either been a miscommunication, a misalignment of priorities, or a misunderstanding. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you're just dealing with someone who's difficult, but finding common ground can put you a long way towards figuring out what you both need. One of the best examples of this, in my opinion, is when you're really working through something and trying to find common ground. You both think you need an orange. So you're kind of fighting over the orange, only to realize after further communication, transparency, and honesty that what was needed is I need the rind of the orange. I'm going to be using that for flavoring in a pie crust. And you wanted the actual meat of the orange. You wanted to juice it and use it in a pudding. We could both get what we need as long as we discuss and come to terms with where we both are, right? So it's really important to look for that common ground. Avoid using jargon or technical terms. This is especially important when you're talking to a customer. One of the terms that we use a lot in my business, one of my businesses, Young Living, is PV. That's personal volume. And unfortunately, it's couched in a lot of the advertising that we do. All you have to do is get 100 PV. What the heck is that? So I tell people, you just need $100 of a certain credit in your account, if that makes sense, or $100 of a certain order. Your order amount total might be larger than that. But I try to translate it into what a normal person would understand that is. Some businesses, like our notary business, is particularly heavy with jargon. And it's really important if you're in a notary loan signing situation that you're not throwing around terms like even if it's just the interest rate stuff or the PMI or abbreviations, this language is not something that most people are familiar with or something they have to deal with on a consistent basis. Oh, you can just refi later and get that PMI removed. And maybe even though you'll be spending more on your interest rate, you'll save overall because your whole total amortization will be lower. What? What does that mean? Well, that was a helpful suggestion, but not in the way that I said it to the average bear, right? There's a way to say that to the people that you're working with that could be really helpful, but you got to speak normal human language. Simplicity can be difficult. So if you need to practice this ahead of time, that's a great tip, right? Get rid of the jargon and think of how would I explain this to someone in simple terms? If I didn't work in the mortgage industry, what would make sense to me? Because our goal, especially if it's something as huge as a home or a property or maybe a commercial business, is you want to make sure that your customer feels 1000% comfortable and understands what they're signing, feels engaged, gets to be excited about the process, gets to feel comfortable asking any questions, that they'll understand the answers, and that you're being their go-to person for that. The next thing is to be respectful and professional. This has kind of gone out the window in a lot of ways. The biggest area I've seen this in the public sector is people talking very comfortably about politics in an extremely negative way. We all know right now, the United States in particular is very divided as a country, and that there are about 50% of the people that feel one way and 50% of the people that feel another. So speaking vehemently and being very derogatory about either side at work is absolutely not professional. It's really important that you imagine that anything that you say or write could be on the front page of your local newspaper or even maybe the Washington Post or Fox News, and you would have no problems with that. You would be proud of what you said and how you said it. So you've got to be professional and respectful. Respectful means not interrupting people, listening until someone's thought is finished, even if you know the answer to their question, making sure that you're trying to really hear what they're saying and respond in kind and respectfully. And last but not least, follow up. This is an area that's particularly difficult, I think, if you're in an MLM field or you have your own at-home business, right? You think, oh, I don't want to bother people. I, for example, host monthly events locally where we do tons of education. Lots of people attend and really love them. Lots of people tell me they wish they could attend, but often miss them. And so I'll be sure in about the third or fourth message that I send about these events that if you don't want to hear about them anymore, please just let me know. It's not a problem. I don't want to waste your time or bother you, and I don't want to waste my time. I'm trying to be respectful and follow up professionally. Professional follow-up is not nagging, but ignoring the follow-up is unprofessional. So there's a line to be found, right? And giving people the out, giving people the opening. If this isn't of interest to you, please don't worry about it. I can't wait to have coffee with you and see you and hear everything about what you're doing. You don't need to be at this event if it's not something you want to do. This is something that I learned specifically in the nonprofit world. It was really hard for people to tell me that they did not want to support the Children's Hospital. How could you say that? But guess what? Not everybody wanted to get dressed up and go to a gala or even go to a church chili cook-off or even come to the telethon. For some people, that just wasn't their jam. It wasn't their even charity. They were thoughtful and supportive people of me, but not interested in the Children's Hospital as a charitable thing that they were involved in. It's really important that you make way for those people, because in a lot of these cases, we have personal relationships, especially if you've been building the relationship that business is built on. And that's, to me, really what business is about. We're connecting with people. We're getting to know people. So if you want to start a business or you have a business and you follow these 6 steps, I'm telling you, you're going to be way ahead of the curve. In light of teaching you how to have an authentic business conversation, I've also included information about my Young Living business and some things that I would include for people who are considering maybe getting involved in either the 11-day jumpstart or dealing with their seasonal issues, managing their sleep, and what the opportunities are this month at the end of this post. in the caption so that you can kind of see these would be the facts that I would share so that people would have the costs and the ideas up front and know what was available. So if that's anything you're interested in, I'm always here to help. Make sure that you're doing these 6 things and you'll be the better for it. And so will your business. I can't wait to see you back here tomorrow, live around 5. I hope you're having a great night and staying cool. It's actually really hot in Virginia. Apologies to Utah and other places where you're getting creamed with incredible snow. We're sending you our support and we're thinking of you all. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys so much and appreciate